Big announcement. We all know today was a big day in sports already. We had a Triple Crown winner again. And for boxing, this fight right here on July the 28th at Staples Center is our Triple Crown. Very hardly you see truly two of the best on the pound for pound list. Certainly the two best champions in the division fighting each other, willing to put up their respective belts and unifying the world titles. When you look around this room here, you see Stanley Cup, you see NBA championships, you see some of the greatest athletes of our generation, you see some great musical acts which all have performed here at Staples Center. Staples Center is today the busiest venue in the world. It's a beautiful building, it's a first-class building, and it really is reserved for only the elite of the elite. When I say the busiest building, they have three professional teams playing here, so it's very difficult to get boxing here, and it really is only reserved for the biggest events, the biggest musical acts. It's reserved for truly superstars, blockbuster events, and that's what we have here on July the 28th. We have both. We have a blockbuster event, and we have two superstars fighting here on July the 28th. There's no question, not even close, that this clearly is the best fight of the summer, probably the best fight, one of the best fights of the year. There are two world champions, there are two undefeated fighters, two athletes in their prime, combined 59 wins, no losses, 44 knockouts. I mean, it doesn't get better, it doesn't get bigger than that. Mikey Garcia against Robert Easter for the unified WBC and IBF World Championship. That's a fight right here in Los Angeles in the famous Staples Center. Tickets went on sale, on a pre-sale I have to say, this morning, early morning, and attendees of tonight's fight will have an opportunity to get a selection of tickets here if they go to the box office, and they can go as well online to www.axs.com, code BOXING. We had a very small pre-sale earlier this morning, and Bruce, are you here? Yeah. How many tickets did we sell today? Almost 3,000 tickets gone. Almost 3,000 tickets gone. When do you see that? For one boxing event, you see that. This is amazing, and that's a true tribute to these two world-class athletes, these two world champions. I'd like to thank PBC, Al Heyman and his team for putting together another terrific event. It's a pleasure to work with Al and his team. I'd like to acknowledge as well our co-promoter. We've been doing several shows now together. It's a pleasure. Tom Brown, I think he is somewhere here. So thank you, Tom. Pleasure to work with your team. And I'd like to acknowledge Lee Seidman, the General Manager, President of Staples Center for venues here in Los Angeles. It's great to be back at Staples Center and have back-to-back events, June and July, multiple world championships on the line. I think that's a first, even for Staples Center. And then I'd like to thank, of course, my good friend Steven Espinosa. Without the commitment of boxing, of Showtime, you wouldn't be able to see this fight on Showtime. You would have to go into your pockets, and it would be a pay-per-view event. It certainly, without any question, has the magnitude of a pay-per-view event. So enjoy it on Showtime on July the 28th or live here at Staples Center. Tickets, by the way, starting at $50. Okay? I'd like to introduce to you now first Team Easter. There's no question about that. Robert Easter today is the best lightweight. He is hooked up with a legendary trainer, Kevin Cunningham, whose record speaks for itself. He is as committed as he can be. He's undefeated. He has a great team behind him, and it's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you his father, Robert Easter Sr., to come and say a few words. Mr. Easter.
I'd like to thank the GTB Promotions and Peter Beer from this premiere and Al Heyman for putting this together. And I'd like to thank the champ Mikey Garcia for accepting this for us. And we're looking forward to a good fight, and best of luck to you, all right? Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Easter. Well, This fighter is extremely skilled, no question about it. He can box, he can punch, and he is physically very gifted as well. So it's no wonder that he's undefeated. Frankly, I don't know how anyone, and I mean anyone, can solve that puzzle. That is probably why nobody has done so, and he's still undefeated. Mikey, I'm looking at you. It's going to be up to you to save that puzzle. And we all know as fight fans, we are going to be in for a very special treat. Next to Mikey, you look at Robert Easter. He's like a giant. He has the skills, he has the punch, he has everything. And most importantly, he has that oath. He's undefeated. And it's a pleasure. I just told him it's an honor for me to finally promote a fight for Robert Easter. Being a fan of his for a long time. I think if you're a boxing fan, if you're a sport fan, you know how Robert Easter is. And after July the 28th, you're going to know it even more. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you from Toledo, Ohio, the undefeated IBF world champion, Robert Easter Jr.
How everybody doing? I'm excited. You know, July 28th, I've been waiting on this day for so long. I thank everybody for coming out, making this happen. Team Mikey Garcia, you know, the best, you know, fighting the best. This is what boxing is all about. And July 28th is, you're going to get a lot of fireworks. You're going to get a hell of a show. And we're going to put on 2 great performances, you know. And like I said, I've been excited for this for so long and waiting for this for so long. And I just can't wait. Thank y'all.
For the Garcias, boxing is a family affair. The grandfather, the father, the sons, and the grandsons, you all see them together there in their gym in Riverside. Eduardo Garcia, Mikey's father, proclaimed a little while ago that he's retired, but I can assure you he's not. He is as active as ever. He's there in the gym, overlooking every one of the sparring sessions and training sessions and sharing his wisdom with the young kids in the gym, including his own grandkids. So it's a family affair, the Garcia family, just like it is in the Easter family as well. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Mikey's brother, former world champion himself, one of the most talked about, one of the most sought after trainers in the world today. Frankly, one of the best trainers in the world, who is training many different world champions, has always come up with the perfect plan for Mikey. And obviously they have their work cut out by taking on somebody like Robert Easter, but I'm sure they're up to the task. Mikey Garcia's first fight was in June 14, 2006, 12 years ago. 12 years ago. To remain undefeated in 12 years is remarkable. To remain unbeaten in 12 years and be able to become a 6-time world champion is historic. To remain unbeaten in 12 years, become a 6-time world champion, and unify, become a 4-division world champion is legendary. So what we're going to see here on July the 28th is truly one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, taking on, again, the biggest challenge, the most dangerous challenge in his career. He's a fighter who doesn't shy away from that. And that's how legend is made. On Saturday night, we all can't wait to see these two modern-day gladiators making their way into the center ring at Staples Center. And we as fight fans are going to be the beneficiaries of what I'm sure will be a terrific, terrific showdown. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome now the man, the legend, the undefeated superstar from right here, from Los Angeles, the world champion, Mikey Garcia.
Thank you for being here. It's exciting to finally land a fight here in LA. It's been a long time since I fought here in California, and it's nice to come back. I'm very excited for this fight. It's going to be my first opportunity to unify a division. You know, I've been champion in several divisions, but the unification match is always an exciting challenge. You fight another champion. I got, you know, Robert Easter, who's an undefeated world champion, so can't take it easy, can't take it lightly. I gotta work hard, overcome some of those challenges, but that's what this game is about. That's what I want to be known for. That's what I want to do. You know, a win over Easter will definitely help my legacy, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to win fights. I'm here to take on big fights, big challenges, world champions. I could take a, you know, title defense fight. I could have taken a few of those and just, you know, have a few more wins, but that doesn't do much when it comes to legacy. In order to be the best, you gotta beat the best, and Robert Easter is one of them. World champion, undefeated. I mean, there's not a whole lot more, you know, he can accomplish unless, you know, he wants to beat me, gets his name even higher, and that's what's gonna make it such a better fight. That he's here to win, and I'm here to win as well. We got two undefeated champions. You know, both of them hungry. You know, we're both, you know, trying to make a bigger name for ourselves. That's only a recipe for a great fight. You know, that's the recipe that everybody wants. We don't want to have a opponent in there. We want a champion. You know, I think he's an exciting fighter. He comes to fight. He's not the one to be in boring fights. He's always exciting, and I think the fans are going to be treated to another night of great fight, great boxing. I'm always there to win. I'm always there to give the fans an exciting fight. This will not be any different. I'm very happy, very excited, like I said, to be here and being able to do this, and, you know, having the opportunity to win, you know, another title, unified division is something that it was unimaginable for me years ago. It was, you know, something that I never thought I'd be part of, and now I'm here. So I'm very excited, very happy. I want to thank everybody here covering this, along with my friend Richard, Steven, and Showtime, TGB, and just everybody that's involved. I want to thank everybody for putting this together and helping us fighters get these fights done. You know, if we don't have the support from everybody, you know, we can't just do this. So I want to thank everybody. I'm very happy that everything's going well for me, and I can't wait for July 28th. Make sure you guys get your tickets because they are selling pretty fast. So I think it's going to be one of those nights to remember. Thank you very much.
Two superstars, two undefeated fighters, two world champions, the two best lightweights in the world on July the 28th, right here at Staples Center. $50, that's where the tickets start. I'll see you there. We are going to open it up now for questions for the media, if there are any questions, and the fighters will be available afterwards as well, and we'll pose them as well. Any questions? Yes, Mike.
Question for Mikey.
Well,
What do you think Robert Easter is going to rank as far as toughest fighters you faced so far?
well, look, I know he's a tough fighter. I've seen him several occasions now. As far as his toughness, there's no doubt that he's a tough guy. You know, he presents other challenges that other previous opponents don't present. You know, his height and reach advantages are something that I have to make adjustments for. But that's why, like I said, these are the fights that excite me the most and motivate me, because I'm facing somebody different, and he's hungrier than ever. I mean, I can tell. You know, he definitely doesn't want to lose this. And he is an undefeated champion. Those are the fights that I want. You know, I want to be fighting champions, you know, because those are the fights that will elevate me and help my legacy.
And question for Robert. You know, I'm sure the fight against Fortuna didn't go exactly as you planned, but is it easier to get up for a fight like Mikey? Maybe you weren't taking Fortuna as serious?
You know, styles make fights. Everybody fight different. You know, it was a tough fight. You know, we got definitely learn from it and we moved on. You know, that's not something I'm gonna keep down. You know, I've been on this fight for over 2.5 years, and it's finally here, so this is what we're training for.
Mikey, right over here, Steve Kim. Mike, how much did your fight with Sergey Lipinets, which seemed to be a pretty good fight, did that influence your decision at all to go back down to 35?
No, the reason why we are coming back to 35 is because we have an opportunity to unify the division. And if you remember, even when I was leading up to the Lipinets fight, I always mentioned that my plan was to come back down to lightweight. The opportunity to win a 4th division title against Lipinets was exciting and great, and that's why I took that fight. But my intentions were always to come back to the lightweight division.
And Robert, question for you. I know that recently it was announced that you are now training under the guidance of Kevin Cunningham. How much was that influenced by your last 2 outings?
You know, it was certain stuff that was going on, training back at home, you know, not focused. Me and my dad decided, you know, we go take it out of town and get focused and bring in a new coach. You know, Kevin Cunningham was the top guy.
Mikey, good to see you again. You fought Brooklyn, Texas. Was this a fight you really wanted to fight here? You know, basically your Riverside, Oxnard. Was this a fight that you really wanted to fight sooner or later here in LA?
I always wanted to come back to LA here. Sometimes it's unable, you know, to land. The arenas are busy. You know, schedules, opponents aren't willing to come. I think, you know, Team Easter for allowing and accepting the challenge to come here. Some will say no to LA because it's my hometown, but well, I'm going all the time also. I wanted to get a fight here at home. It happens to be my biggest fight, you know, title unification. So, you know, I think it's a great place to land this fight here at Staples Center, close to Oxnard, Riverside, where I'm staying now. And I think, you know, boxing itself here in Southern California is so huge that this kind of fight, you know, will be a huge event here in Staples.
One more question. Just it's almost like when I ask either fighter, it's like if both fighters want it. You know, is a fight with even what you saw last one with Lomachenko, is that something that you would want in the future? You know, a fight with Lomachenko?
Well, we've got to get past Easter first to talk about Lomachenko, but definitely, you know, at lightweight, those are fights that will excite me the most. Like I said, title unification matches, those are the ones that motivate me, and those are the fights that I want. Hopefully we can get something done in the near future, maybe next year.
Mikey, por aquí adelante. ¿Qué te hace, has estudiado bastante a tu rival, qué te hace mejor que él para ganar esta pelea el 28 de julio?
Mira, yo pienso que mi experiencia me va a ayudar. Tengo yo las habilidades de cambiar mi estrategia en plena pelea. Entonces, eso es algo que yo tengo pensado pues, hacer. Entonces, vamos a trabajar de diferentes maneras en el gimnasio para prepararme lo mejor posible y así estar listos para lo que Easter quiera hacer. Yo voy a tener algo para contestarle.
Tener a tu hermano en tu esquina, por decirlo así, ¿por qué hace esto más sólido, este combate más sólido para ti?
Mira, siempre hemos estado con mi papá y mi hermano, son los que me conocen mejor que cualquier otra persona. Saben mis habilidades, saben lo que puedo hacer. Y también yo tengo confianza en que ellos saben su trabajo, tanto campeón mundial que ha hecho mi hermano, con la experiencia de mi papá. Entonces yo tengo confianza total en ellos, ellos tienen la confianza en mí y hacen un equipo más fuerte por esa combinación.
¿Cuál es el futuro tuyo? ¿Qué te ha dicho tu hermano con respecto a ese abanico que sigue después de estas peleas con Easter y todo lo que venga después con Lomachenko y todo lo demás?
No, pues hay cosas muy grandes, planes grandes. En mi carrera viene, como les he mencionado, viene lo mejor. En verdad, cada pelea lo estamos demostrando. Cada pelea es más grande que la previa. Esta es una grande pelea que voy a hacer a unificar el título. Después de esto quiero peleas igual, grandes, que me emocionan y me llaman la atención.
Any other questions?
Mikey, en español, por favor, un gusto saludarte. La primera, piensas en otra división y no solo eso. Tu carrera es no solamente por título, seguramente por ser históricamente uno de los mejores libra por libra.
Los títulos son los que te van a dar ese reconocimiento. Entonces por eso es que busco peleas de título, campeonatos mundiales. antes en mi carrera no pensaba igual, no miraba un título con el mismo valor. Ahora sí lo veo con ese valor. Entonces son las peleas que quiero. Por supuesto, después de esto, en poco tiempo pienso subir de división otra vez a conquistar otros campeonatos en divisiones más grandes. Suena quizás algo loco, pero en realidad me interesa mucho subir a welter y conquistar un campeonato ahí.
All right, I think last question, and then we're going to pose to fighters, and I want to get you guys back ringside.
Mikey over here. My name is Mohammed Mubarak. I'm with EURweb.com. My question is, why now Robert Easter went into your decision to make it right now? I mean, this is a big fight. It's not an easy fight. Tell us what went into those thoughts.
Well, like I said, I wanted an exciting fight, a challenge, and at lightweight right now, there's no other challenge other than Robert Easter. I could have taken a title defense, but that doesn't challenge me enough. So that's why we went and chose Robert Easter, who's an undefeated world champion, you know, and that's what motivated me most. I want to take those challenges, and that's why we chose him.
Robert, my question to you, how prepared are you for a big fight like this?
Well prepared. You know, we still doing preparing. You know, that's what we're training for right now. We're doing studying, working on my craft, perfecting my craft, working on things that I haven't been using in previous fights, and you know, things coming along.
All right, thank you all. Saturday, July 28th, right here at Staples Center, starting at $50. World Championship unification bout between the two undefeated superstars, Robert Easter and Mikey Garcia. Thank you. Let's pose the fighters, please.
No money on fun. No, Mike. Richard, you want to get in the middle? My guys. Money on fun.
Can I come up from here?
GBA.
Can we have you out of the middle now, just for one shot? Just to face off. Face out one more time. Okay.
Okay, thanks guys. Face forward.
Good job, guys.
Right here, please.
What's up, champ? That green belt gonna look good around here.
One of those looking
I
back.
get both of you guys
Hey,
right
Brian.
here one more time.
Brian, the Mexican color. You good? You like it? Yeah, I'm fine.